is this program? What's it called? And just what is it?
Are we rolling? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, this program is called WARDA, stands for Women Against Rape and Domestic Abuse. I created this program in 1998. At that time, there was a girl that was pushed out of a running train in Bombay. That's where I'm from. It's called Mumbai now, it was Bombay then. And it kind of disturbed me very deeply because the girl lost her legs, and just for 20 rupees, which is not even a dollar in American money, this girl was pushed out of a running train. At that time, I created this program called Women's Self-Defense. And later on, because of the rapes and all those things, I started calling it rape defense. I started tweaking the program just from basic self-defense to start making it more specialized towards not just self-defense, but also towards rape. And then with the domestic abuse angle, I also added that to the program because there's a lot of domestic violence that takes place around the world in every society, and it doesn't matter what background you come from, what financial background you come from. I mean, it's all over the place. So I added that too. So now I feel it's a complete program because I call it Women Against Rape and Domestic Abuse, which also goes into translating towards women's self-defense, women empowerment, and I call it more than self-defense. I don't like to use the word self-defense. I like to use the word woman counter-assault program because there's an assault on females, physically, psychologically, sexually, all kinds of stuff. So this program is more of a counter-assault program. You turn the attack onto the attacker, you counter-assault the attacker and win. And that's what this program's all about. Does that make any sense?
So, touch on that. What makes your program different than other, there's lots of self-defense classes out there for women that they can take, but what makes yours different or special? Because, you obviously have a set focus that you zero in on, and you just touched on one of them.
What makes it different? I really haven't seen many programs. I have had other instructors from other programs who've come and joined my program, and they've become instructors in my program, and they say, oh my gosh, they say that, I don't, there's a world of a difference in your program and their program because this is more realism-based. There's more reality to it. I bring people down to brass tacks. I bring them down to reality. There's no Hollywood nitty-gritty, finger of death, and I'm going to touch your hand, and if you hold my hand, I'm going to wrist lock you and do things of that sort. None of that nonsense. Stuff that happens in real life is going to happen in this program. We're going to bring you very close to the reality, and we'll tell you how to get out of it. That's the difference.
And you know what? I think that's the part that when I heard about interests me the most is you really try to make it real for women. Now, some people might say, why go so far? But it kind of gives us an idea of why that's important. When you're out in the field, it's like an officer. You want to be ready when you're out there, when it happens. You want to, be prepared.
Yes.
Mentally also.
Exactly. Of course, fight is 80% psychological and mental and 20% physical. If your mind is not prepared, your body will never do it. Your mind always fails you first before your body even realizes about failing. It's all here and it's all here. And if I can put that stress inoculation, I can stress you out with reality, your mind says, hey, you know what? I've been there before. I can handle it. I handled it before, I'll handle it again. If I don't bring you realism, and if I lie to you in your training, and if I sugarcoat it, and if I make it all nice, that when you leave over here, you have the warm, fuzzy feeling. And when realism strikes, it's going to fail you. You're at a loss. You've lost yourself. I've had students. I'm a martial artist. I'm an 8th degree black belt in Taekwondo. I'm a 10th degree black belt in Kando Kwan, which is another system that I developed. It's my fighting system. I have a black belt in several other systems of martial arts. I've been training basically all my life. I am a police defensive tactics instructor. I train police officers, special forces around the world. And everything with me and my mentality is reality, realism based. You know what? If it's not working, kick it out. Let's do something that actually works. So if I teach you something that does not work, whom have I lied to? First to myself and then to you. What's the point of that? I don't want you walking out here feeling warm and fuzzy. I want you walking out of here thinking about, hey, you know what? I'm a potential victim. This could happen to me, and I'm responsible for my safety. And I'm going to toughen up, and I'm going to train more so that if it ever happens to me, I'm going to win. I'm going to walk out of this as a winner. I might be cut. I might be broken, I might be bruised, I might be bleeding. But I'm going to walk out of this situation a winner in every way. And that's what I'm trying to drive home to people. And you know, the motto of my program is I am responsible for my safety. It's not my father, it's not my brother, it's not my husband, it's not my son, it's not the police, it's not the government. Nobody but me, myself, because when it happens to me, I'm there by myself. And I have to count on myself to win and get out. I'm not talking about survival, I'm talking about winning. When you've won, you've already survived it. Survival is not enough. You've got to win. And that's what this program's all about. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I mean, there's programs where they teach the women how to deal with it, cope with it, maybe go through with it, that you survive, you are still alive, but winning,
yes,
you actually are trying to teach them to fight against it.
Exactly.
Now, what are some of the things that women will be doing today? What are they going to learn in this class? What are some of the things that we're going to do?
We're going to touch on several topics over here. We're going to talk about the myths, you know, what men think about women. We're going to talk about key points of survival. We're going to talk about the targets to hit. We're going to talk about the body's weapons, the natural weapons of the body. We're going to talk about, you know, how to be, survive at home, in your car, on the street. We're going to work on some techniques. We're going to work on some techniques that, hey, what happens if you fall on the ground? How are you going to fall safely? How are you going to stand up? How are you going to get back in the fight? And getting back in the fight here does not mean you're going to stand up and stick it out toe to toe, because a lot of times women and men, there is a big physical strength, the equation's not balanced. Mm-hmm. There's a big disbalance between men and women. You're fighting a guy, say, twice your size, you know, taller than you, bigger than you, someone like him, someone like me. I mean, you know, you're already at a disadvantage. So what are you going to do to get out of there quick as possible? And winning also means running away. So you stun and you run. I mean, you know, you put them down and you just get out of there as quick as possible. So things of that sort.
Okay. And the last thing I was going to ask was, how did you end up bringing the program over to here in the United States and here in Indiana?
I live in Indiana, and I've been here for about 15 years now. I'm a police officer. I won't state the agency where I work for. I work in Indianapolis somewhere. I mean, I have instructors around the world. We have instructors in the Middle East, in Europe, of course in India, and the United States. And since I live here, I mean, I conduct these programs all the time. And we've had instructor training at the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. I do stuff, you know, all around the state, around the world. April, we'll be doing one in Fort Wayne. We're going to have a whole bunch of instructors come, go through certifications in Fort Wayne, and, you know, that's how they are going to start teaching and spreading this, you know, helping women to empower themselves, not defend, empower themselves, counter assault. And because I'm here, the program came with me. I mean, if wherever I go, the program will go with me, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Okay, I think we covered everything unless there's anything you want to add.
Yeah, I mean, I can even add that, you know what, I've trained over 20,000 women in the world, personally myself. I mean, in the last so many years. And year before last, I was in India. So with the Bombay police and me, Mumbai police now, we got together and we did a marathon warrior sessions where in 3 days we did workshops, like 3-hour workshops. I would start 8 o'clock in the morning and 10 at night. And I trained over 1,000 women in 3 days. I mean, that was phenomenal. And that was real, real good.